Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you on our show Race Previews on this Friday, 12th May 2023, where we go for the race card of the 9th meeting to be held tomorrow on 13th of May 2023. And by my side, as usual, our racing consultant from South Africa, Devon Habib, to help you with your analysis. Hi, Devon. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Before going on through this race card, I'd like to remind our viewers that false race are at 1.50 meters and track reading is at 2.9 miles. Devon, anything to add more?
Yeah, look, I think it's just very nice to see that we've got some nice field sizes. We've got some fields where we've got 10 runners, and it's getting better to see the horses starting to come in now, and a lot of the other stables are joining in. So I guess it's nice to have some more competition. I mean, competition's always good, and it makes racing more competitive and a lot of fun. So yes, it is more difficult to find winners, but that's why we're here to lead the punters in the right direction, and let's hope we can tip them a few winners today.
Exactly. So gradually we have more stables joining us and increasing the level of competition. We'll now start with race 1, the Naren Sami Vel Tankanamutu Memorial Cup race, which will be run over 1500 meters, 0 to 15, with 7 runners. Number 1, Chief Rafif. Number 2, Carolina Reaper. Number 3, Bells Apostle. Number 4, Digital Fortress. And number 5, the Gypsy King. Number 6, the Sir Capers. And number 7, Nightingale Lane. Devon, your picks for race 1.
Yeah, look, I think it's a nice race to start the day off to build a little bit of a kitty and get the punters going. The favourite in the first race looks quite hard to beat. It was number 1, Chief Rafif. And yeah, I think he's going to be very, very difficult to beat. I mean, he ran a close-up third last time, about half a length behind Fussy. And yeah, I make him one of my big bets on the day, and a nice start to the race meeting. For second, there's a horse that's caught my attention on his last run, and he ran a really good race. It was number 4, Digital Fortress. He's really running extremely well.
Yes, and he's moving up in distance,
yeah,
1500 meters.
Yeah, so just tying back into Chief Rafif, I think is a really, really nice horse, and I know the step up in distance is always was part of his program, you know. So I thought he's going to really enjoy that, and he's working extremely well. So
running in 0.15 this horse, and last time he dropped a bit in the race. Throughout the race, he didn't finish far from the winner. Fast.
Yeah, look, and he is very competitive in this division. So
we now look at his last race. Chief Rafif with Stéphane Denouillot on board that day.
Yeah, look, he had the purple and silver colors that day, and it was a really nice race for him. He ran a good race there. I mean, you can see he's detached from the field now, and he makes a big comeback to run close, half a length behind the winner. And the 2 front horses looked race over. So I think it's a big run from him, and he's always going to enjoy this extra. Well, it's not extra from his last run, but I mean the step up to the 1500.
He's always been a consistent horse.
100%, and I think in the 0.15 rating, he's got 60.5. It's going to be very hard to beat him.
And number 4, Digital Fortress for the placings. Nice run first outing, and he's moving up in distance, 1500 meters. And I think if there's strong pace in this race, he'll be right there.
Yeah, look, he ran a very, very big race last time to Special Force, and it was quite impressive. So I think he's on the up, and it was a nice ride from Alvino Roy last time. So I think if you can give him a good ride again with the claim 1.5, he'll be very, very close to the winner.
And number 5, the Gypsy King with Nabil Sheikh Bachami on board. He's being fitted with the same equipment, ran a good race last time, same competitors. Third draw, what do you think will be his tactics?
Yeah, look, I think he's the type of horse that could go to the front with a good draw and probably dictate and try to steal the race again, you know. He's got the same jockey that had him last time, so yeah, I think a length behind Special Force, he's got Digital Fortress beat on that run. So I think he could maybe turn it around. If not, he'll be there and thereabouts. He is one of the horses that we'll have to watch out for, and he's trading at a nice price of 4.5 to 1. So yeah, I do fancy him as well. And I mean, I normally like to tip the first race based on Peaky Blinders, and I feel like they're always there and thereabouts. So I mean, he is the Gypsy King, so he's got a chance, definitely got a chance.
And finally, number 3, Best Apostle, to complete the quartet with Janis Tak on board, draw number 1 in the stalls. Unlucky in the last meters last time, and now I think the 100 additional meters he'll like this, he will relish this distance.
Most definitely. He's also one of those horses that you got to be careful of, because he is second favorite, and
Exactly.
he's got a good draw, he's got a good jockey on, but I just feel like it might just be a bit tough for him. Even though he beat them last time, I just think the other 2 horses are now cherry ripe, and they're ready to overcome the last run from him, you know.
So we'll go through your picks for race 1. Number 1, Chief Rafif for the win and for the placings. Number 4, Digital Fortress. Number 5, the Gypsy King. And number 3, Best Apostle.
That's correct.
Moving on to race 2, the Cinco Events Cup. With 7 runners. Number 1, Better Than the Rest. Number 2, CH Ram. Number 3, Double Think. Number 4, General Jackson. Number 5, Lockdown. Number 6, Cap Kuta. And number 7, Shesh Besh. This race will be run over 1365 meters in 0 to 26. Devon, you like which horse for the win?
Yeah, look, I'm actually very big on this horse in race 2. It's probably one of my best bets on the day. I think Double Think, number 3. I don't think you have to think twice to like this horse. I mean, his last 2 runs are very impressive, and he's working extremely well. So yeah, I make this horse quite a big runner, and like I said last time, I'd like to see him follow up on a good run, because I know after they break their maidens, they're normally very competitive, and I think he's in a very competitive mark at the moment. And yeah, I make him a very hard horse to beat. We can see his last run,
yeah.
And it was impressive. He's in front, and it was just unlucky. He ran second to a nice horse of San Andreas, who flew up on the outside and made a big run from them, you know. So yeah, I think he's one of those horses that we've got to watch out for.
This time also, I think he's going to lead.
Yeah, I think he'll lead, but I mean, he's got a bad draw, so he's got no option. He's got to obviously jump and try to go. The biggest danger for him with getting to the front will probably be Siege Ram, but I mean, even if he doesn't get to the front, I still think he'll run a good race. He made a big run. He came back nicely, yeah, so you can see in the closing stages he fought on to run
He's
second.
still there, yeah.
And he just got beat by a good horse on the day, and he's been beaten by good horses in his form. I mean, if you go back 2 or 3 rounds where he ran to Instinctive Power and One Day One, I mean, those 2 horses, if they win this race, they'd be 1 to 500.
So and the odds also at 550 are nice ones.
Yeah, look, he could be a value bet, but I'm very confident, so I'm making him a bank on the day, so that's my best bet.
And for the placings?
Yeah, look, for second, one of my favorite horses, I got to tip him for second. I think you got to draw line 3 his last run. Number 6, Caputa. I think he's one of those horses that is very competitive, as well as Double Thing. So I'm making him in my second selection. He's got good form, and I'm just going to draw line 3 his last run.
He's been trained mainly at Petit Gamma.
Yeah, look, and it's nice to see Ryan getting his first ride. So, I mean, last week a jockey with their first ride came out and won, and I think his name's Brandon. And now this week there's a new jockey as well, Ryan. So I think it'll be nice to see him have his first ride, and he's quite a nice rider. I've seen him work, and I think he's going to suit this horse.
What are your views about the apprentice?
Yeah, look, I think he's a very balanced and talented little rider, and I think obviously with experience he'll become a very nice rider in the future, and I wish him all the best for his career going forward.
Just to remind our viewers that race 2 is reserved for apprentice jockeys. And number 1, Better Than the Rest.
Yeah, look, number 1, Better Than the Rest is a very nice horse. I think he's a horse that's going to be very nice for the future, and I just think he might need this run though.
He's dropping massively in class.
He is dropping a big drop in class. That's why I do fancy him into the placings, but I think the break might have been a bit too long for him, and I think he might need to just get back into it, and maybe 1 or 2 runs, and then we can start tipping him to win. Because if you have to take that form of Traveling Man and Crazy Charlie, he's definitely a massive runner.
And he'll be running under the colors of his new stable, Samraj Mahadia.
Yeah.
And number 2, CH Ram with Yanish Taka on board, draw number 1, very consistent last year. He has a lot of gallops under his belt.
Yeah, look, he's a nice horse, and I think he's one of those horses that
He's the favorite of the race.
could possibly win quite well, but also he hasn't run in a while, and I think he might just need it. I'm not gonna write him off. I think he's a nice horse, but yeah, he might just need it for me. He's got draw 1, and he's got Taka, who's a very experienced rider.
Your
But
favorite?
For me, I think yeah, he's definitely one of my favorite riders, Jane Mauritius, and I think it might just be a touch too hard for him, even though he's drawn 1 and he's got a good rider on. I just think he might need this run.
So number 3, Double Thing for the win and for the placings. Number 6, Katkuta. Number 1, Better Than the Rest. And number 2, CH Ram. We'll now move on to race 3, the Shatta Mauritius Concert Cup with 6 runners. Number 1, Castle of Glass. Number 2, Arlington's Revenge. Number 3, Manitoran. Number 4, Believe in the Future. Number 5, Taking Silk. And number 6, Eagle's Vision. This race will be run over 1650 meters in benchmark 36. Devon for the win.
Yeah, look, I'm taking on the favourite Joe. Even though I like Castle of Glass as a horse, and I think he's a really nice horse, I just think Believe in the Future is one of those horses that could overcome him, and he's definitely my first selection in this race. I like him quite strong, and I think his last run was a really good run. Even though he ran 5.5 lengths or 6 lengths behind Duodé, I just think Duodé is in a league of his own, and this horse will definitely be running a massive, massive race. So I'm tipping him, and I'm tipping him quite strong. I think he could win this race. I mean, obviously the biggest danger is number 1, Castle of Glass, the favourite.
Exactly. He's dropping to benchmark 36 from 41. He did run a nice race on his first outing here.
Yeah, look, he did run a good race, and he is a nice horse, like I was saying. But for me, I think it's going to be hard to beat Believe in the Future, who's got the win under his belt, where Castle of Glass hasn't. So he still has to win the race here. And I personally feel that once he's broken the ice and he's won a race, it's going to be hard for them to beat him going forward. I think he'll continue winning maybe 2 or 3 in a row. But just to get him there, it's going to be quite difficult. So I mean, the race is between the 2 horses.
And finally, number 6, Eagle's Vision, beaten favorite last time with a bad performance. Nabil Sheikh Bachamia back in the saddle. I think he will try to bag this win.
Yeah, look, Eagle's Vision didn't run the greatest race last time, but there was excuses. I mean, I would also want to obviously touch on Castle of Glass again. I mean, and I would like to go and watch his rerun where he ran last time. Sorry, I'm bouncing back to that, but yeah, I just wanted to watch his last run, and I thought he ran a really good race. So he is obviously the horse that they'll have to beat. He's sitting 3rd on the rail with Derek on him, and he's got the yellow and blue colours. So yeah, I think he is a nice horse, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him running a big race. But I mean, the winner that day just pulled away from them, and it was quite hard to beat them.
Yeah.
And you can see Duodé, I mean, he made up, he got beat by Duodé 3.9 lengths, where Believe in the Future got beat 6 lengths, but Duodé won quite easily that day as well. So yeah, it is very similar, and
I think the 1650 meters will suit this horse.
Most definitely.
With a Ben Habib on board as well.
Yeah, so we were talking about Eagle's Vision. Apologies for that. I think we just draw a line through his last run. Everything went wrong, and he is a very consistent horse. And now going over the 1650, it's more his distance, and yeah, he's definitely going to be a big runner there.
So I'll remind our viewers, your choice for the win, number 4, Believe in the Future, and for the placings, number 1, Castle of Glass, number 6, Eagle's Vision, and number 3, Manitoran. So we didn't talk about Manitoran.
No, we didn't speak about him. If you want to speak about him, we can.
Yes.
Look, he's quite a nice horse. He ran 4th behind Chosen Way, and Chosen Way is quite a nice horse. I mean, he won quite impressively. So yeah, I think with that run, he'll improve, and going forward, I think he's quite a nice horse. So yeah, I wouldn't write him out, but I think he'll run into the back end of quartets.
So one horse to put in your quartet. And now race 4, the Nouresh Jaglal Family Cup. Nouresh Jaglal, crown champion jockey in 2020, who lost his life after a fall while riding the horse Rule the Night. That was a tragic incident.
Yeah, it was a very, very sad moment in racing in the world, for his family, for everyone involved in racing. I remember watching the race, and it wasn't something that I ever wished upon anyone or my worst enemies even. And yeah, it's a really sad
Gone at the
moment.
age of 29.
Very young, but look, I was a very close friend of Naresh, and we had a lot of good times together. I mean, he was in Singapore when my mom was very sick there, and he was a really good friend of mine. So yeah, I'd just like to obviously take this time to send my sympathies to the family, and I hope they're keeping all right. And yeah, I wish all his family, his brother, his mom and dad, his 2 kids, his wife, Shaya, like I wish them all like all the well, and I hope they're feeling better. And I know it's not easy to cope with something like that, but yeah, may his legacy live on, and let's
Exactly, gone but not forgotten.
no, yeah, 100%. He was a champion, and he was a really good person. So yeah, it's a very sad moment for the family as well.
Yeah. So this race will be run over 1400 meters in benchmark 51 with 10 runners. Number 1, Backpacker. Number 2, Grand Vision. Number 3, Trip to the Sky. Number 4, Seattle Kid. Number 5, Toro Bravo. Number 6, Namib Desert. Number 7, Footy Goal. Number 8, 456. Number 9, Lemon Drop Shot. And number 10, Massimo. Your picks for this race, Devon?
Look, I'm going on a horse called Grand Vision, even though he hasn't run in a few months. I just think with draw 1, Vincent's horses are looking extremely well.
He joined this stable last year. This will be his first outing there in this stable. His like favorite jockey will be on board, Sunil Basant. 1400 meters, good for a start.
Yeah, look, and he's dropped in distance. I mean, in benchmark as well. So I think he's going to be very, very competitive. I'll make this one of the better bets on the day as well. And I think draw 1, he is favoured in the race. I think it's going to be quite hard to beat him.
And for the placings, number 7, Footy Goal with Jean Baudetier on board.
Yeah, look, Footy Goal, I even got a bit of goosebumps talking about this also. I mean, Derek was very badly hampered on the rail. I mean, we can see in its last run over here, if we cut through to the video, he's got the purple sitting 2nd or 3rd last, and he got bumped badly into the rail, and he hurt his foot that day. And I think after that happens to us, it's very hard for them to come back. I mean, they're going a really fast pace, and I think we can basically draw sort of a line through his last run, because even though he got beat 3 lengths, I mean, I still think he's a little bit better than that. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him running a massive race. Hence why I'm tipping him to run 2nd. I mean, you can see there he was squeezed badly on the rail, and then in the home straight, just before the home straight, he got bumped quite badly again onto the rail, like over here. I think it's now that it happens. And yeah, he still runs quite a nice race to run 3 lengths off them. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him running there. I mean, Prince Alf came out and won. Courtroom Magic came out and won. The form line's very strong, so I wouldn't write him off completely.
Indeed, and number 6, Namib Desert, promising sort, trained methodically by Jamia Aliosan, 1 for the placing.
Yeah, look, it is 1 for the placings because of the distance. I think it's a touch too short for him. He's one of those horses that will suit a little bit further, but he is definitely one of the nicest horses in Mauritius, and I think he's going to be a very nice horse going forward, one that you all have to keep an eye on. This is definitely one that you should write in your black book, your white book, your blue book, whatever color book you want to write it in. But yeah, I think he's a massive runner.
And number 10, finally, Massimo, who moves up in a benchmark 51, 54 kg. Can he try a pillar to post, which I think will be difficult in this race?
I personally like his horse quite a bit. I think he's a very nice horse, and I feel like Tucker gets along with him very well. He's got a low weight, so I feel like he's going to try go to the front. He's going to try steal the race, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him holding on to the back end of quartets. I think it might be just a bit too hard for him to win, but I think he could, maybe if he gets a soft lead, he could steal this race. Definitely, he's got a good draw, and the jockey knows the horse very well. So yeah, I think he might need 1 more run, but this could be the run that brings him on, and he could maybe even steal it.
So number 2, Grand Vision for the win, and for the placings, number 7, Footy Goal, number 6, Namib Desert, and number 10, Massimo. Race 5, the Nuresh Jaglal Memorial Cup, which will be run over 1400 meters, 50 plus. Number 1, Emblem of Hope. Number 2, Emerald Bend. Number 3, Idita Road Trail. Number 4, Bless My Path. Number 5, Shah Akbar. And number 6, The Contractor. Your picks here, Devon.
Look, last week I made this the banker of 210 years, and it arrived, and it won well. It won quite well. So it's going to be hard for me to not tip him again, but I'm going against him. I'm going with number 2, Emerald Band. So I like this horse. He's one of my favorite horses in Mauritius. I peached him last year. And
3 wins and 2 placings last year.
And I think he's going to be a really nice horse going forward. I'm making him my value bet on the day. I think at 550 or 520, he's one of those horses that you can make some money on. And I personally feel that with 5 kilograms better off to Emblem of Hope, he's going to be a very, very hard horse to beat. I'll make him one of my better bets on the day. He's probably a pick 6.
And for the placings?
For second, obviously, we've got to go with Emblem of Hope. I think it's a 2-horse race, in my opinion. He's a very nice horse, and I mean, his form says it all. We don't have to speak much. He's got draw 1, which is a big advantage. And he is fit. He's had a run. So the bigger question mark for Emerald Band would be his fitness level. But as we can see on his work...
And the top weight of Emblem of Hope can be a disadvantage.
The top weight, the 61, I mean, Emerald Band beat him last year. They were 1 kilogram off. He beat Emerald Band 1 kilogram off. Now it's 5 kilogram turnaround. I think it's going to be hard to beat Emerald Band, and he's working extremely, extremely well. So yeah, I'm in the camp of Emerald Band. For second, obviously Emblem of Hope, and then for third, it's going to be very difficult between the 2 horses, 6 and 4, in my opinion. I mean, obviously Shah Akbar is to have a mention, but the Contractor, if he brings his South African form to Mauritius, I think the front 2 might have to watch out. You know, Emblem of Hope and Emerald Band. I mean, that form's very strong. I think he's a nice horse. I mean, the Brass ran a monster
had a lot
race.
of issues, this horse. I hope his issues are behind him now.
I hope so too. I mean, he's a very nice horse. He's had 4 wins in a row, and I mean, Dominic's stable's in hot form. So yeah, I think with 52 kilograms on the back, it could prove the question maybe for this horse, you know, but it's going to be very tough.
And to complete the quartet, Bless My Path with Dinesh Sufal on board. I think the 1400 meters are good for his start. He runs well fresh. He started his 2022 season with a win last year and 52.5 kg. He can upset the favorite.
Yeah, he's definitely a horse that they all have to be careful of, because he does love to run well fresh, and yeah, his form is very good. I mean, he ran 3 lengths behind Walls of Dubrovnik, and yeah, I think that's a massive, massive run. So I do like him. I just feel like he was in a very low division last time when he won, and now it's a much higher division, so it's going to be difficult for him to win, in my opinion, first time up.
So number 2, Emerald Band for the win, and for the placings, number 1, Emblem of Hope, number 6, The Contractor, and number 4, Bless My Path.
Yeah.
Moving on to race 6, the main race of the day, the NJ, the Legend Cup, a race which will be run over 1500 meters, a group 3 race with 6 runners. Number 1, the Gatekeeper. Number 2, Fool's Goal. Number 3, Special Blend. Number 4, Holy Warrior. Number 5, Stream Ahead. And number 6, Favor. For the win, Devon?
Look, I think the horse that they have to beat in this race is number 2, Fool's Gold, in my opinion. I'm going with a little bit of value here, and I'm tipping quite an outsider at 6.5 to 1. Number 2, Fool's Gold. I think he's the one that they all have to run at. He's a very nice horse, and I do like him a lot. I mean, his last 3 runs are very impressive, so I'm tipping him to win. And I mean, Blackburn Rock came out and flanked that form. He won a very good race last time, and yeah, I think he is a horse that they all have to beat. The 1500 is going to suit him down his alley. It's definitely his distance, and yeah, I'm quite strong on him, and I think Mangold's got his horses in a good space as well. I know he's a big price, and hence why I'm saying he's one that we'll have to watch.
And now we look at his track work.
Yeah, he's working extremely well, and he's in a good space, and it's going to be a very big run from him, in my opinion.
And for the placings,
I
number 3, Special Blend, horse which won on his first outing here.
Yeah, look, he won a really good race last time, and his penultimate start was good. I did fancy him. I made him one of my value bets last time, and he won. I'm actually a bit scared of him for this race. I think he's one that we all have to watch out for. He's a massive runner. I just feel like with the extra 100 meters, he's going to shoot him down his alley. It's just a much harder race than he ran last time. So it's hard for me to tip him to win. I mean, it is a grade 3 at the end of the day. And it's a big race for us, for the race meeting. And I think it's going to be hard for them to make an out-and-out favourite, yeah. You can see how he was working. Yeah. He's working extremely well. And he's in a very good space. So I do fancy him quite a bit, to be honest with you. He's just looking extremely well, as you can see. His body shape, his coat. I mean, he's in a very good space.
He'll definitely be there if there's a hot pace in the race.
Yeah, 100%.
He's run against good horses as well. Was up to Provnik, Dynamite Jack, Triple Fate Line.
No, he's run against some big names there, and I think even though it's a big step up in class for him, yeah, every time he steps up to the class, he performs. So
exactly,
I think he's one that we all have to watch out for.
And what about
got him in a good space now?
The class he sought, the gatekeeper with Rajorawan on board, draw number 2 in the stores. He worked very well at training, but will be having the top weight of 62 kg.
Yeah, look, he worked extremely well and he's in a good space, but I just feel like the 1500 is just, it's probably way too short for him, in my opinion. This is a type of horse that will enjoy the 2000, 2/4s. If there was a 3,200 meter race in Mauritius, he'd be unbeatable. But I think it's a bit too short for him, and hence why I'm not tipping him to win or run second. I'm tipping him to run into the back end of quartets. Look, he might come out and win cozily. I mean, good horses win any distance. I mean, we've seen it happen a few times in South Africa with horses like Heavy Metal and Legal Eagle and all of them. They win July's and then the next starts in 1,000 meters and they come out and win cozily, you know. So it does happen, but I mean, for me, I think it's going to be quite hard for him to win this race.
And number 6, a Favor from Alet Stable with Dinesh Sufal on board. He worked well with a Twist of Fate at training.
I personally feel this is the right distance for this horse. 1,500-1,600 meters. He runs his best races over that distance, and yes, he's won over further, but I feel like his best runs have been over the 1,500-1,600 in South Africa, and I'm sure that's going to be the same situation, yeah. So I do fancy him to run into the back end.
He's one to watch out for.
100%.
So for the win, number 2, Full Scold, and for the placings, number 3, Special Blend, number 1, The Gatekeeper, and number 6, Favor. Moving on to race 7, la Journée Mondiale des Oiseaux Migrateurs Cup race, which will be run over 1,500 meters in benchmark 46 with 10 runners, but with your favorite horse, which has been scratched in this race, Do or Dare. We start with number 1, Caroloc, number 3, Canary Island, number 4, Zoom Zoom, number 5, Christmas Bay, number 6, Transonic, number 7, Haiki, number 8, Royal Italian, number 9, Duke's Domain, and number 10, Freedom of Speech. For the win, Devon.
Yeah, look, first thing I'd like to say is thank goodness I didn't have to make mention of the name of this race, because I don't even know where to start or something like that. But
this
yeah,
is quite an open race.
I think number 4, Zoom Zoom, I think that's the horse that they will have to beat. He's unbeaten his last 3 starts, and yeah, I mean, I think he's a very, very nice horse, and yeah, I'm tipping him to win, and he's working extremely well. I mean, if there were subtitles, it would be Zoom Zoom, you know, like the Formula 1. They could have those subtitles, Zoom Zoom. He's very fast. He's a nice horse.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of this horse. I think he'll run a massive race. I mean, he beat Canary Island, and I think Canary Island's a very nice horse. So and even Happy and Glorious. So this is a nice horse.
But like when he beat Canary Island, he was the jockey was at 56 kg.
Yeah, look, I mean, the weight is a big difference, yeah. So It is hard, but I feel like he's a top horse, and I mean there's a big turnaround in weight, like you're saying. But for me, the horse with the confidence going forward is always the one that's gonna.
And he's a
be
progressive
strong. Yeah,
sort, this
100%.
Zoom.
Most definitely.
And for the placings?
Number 3, Canary Island. I'm tipping him to run second.
His
With
main
the weight
rival.
turnaround, he's a big runner. Vincent's also in a good space. He's got a good draw. He's the biggest danger to Zoom in my honest opinion, and I think it could be a 2-horse race, yeah, in my opinion. Maybe it could be a big upset. It's a big field, but yeah, it's for me those are the 2 horses that will fight out first and second.
And what about number 5, Christmas Bay, a horse which had a very good season 2022, drew number 6 in the stores. He trained at Floreal as well and runs well fresh. The dark horse of the race?
He is the dark horse of the race, but I mean, he is one of my horses that I've always fancied. So I do like him, and it is very short for him, in my opinion. 1500's like maybe 200-300 meters short of his best distance, but he won a 1650 last time and he won it quite well. So I think he is a classy sort. He is a horse that we all have to watch out for, and I think he'll be a big runner come race time.
And finally, number 6, Transonic with Stéphane Deneuillot on board, drew number 1 in the stores. I think he'll try a pillar to post here from 990 meters to 1500 meters, which I think will suit him well.
Very versatile horse. I mean, he's run over 1500, then drops down to 990, 59, and he runs good races. I mean, he ran behind Night King, who's probably one of our top sprinters in South Africa, and I mean in Mauritius as well. And I think he's the type of horse that, with that pipe opener last time, could come and run a massive race. He ran second to Massimo in his 1 or 2 starts back, and Trip to the Sky, Prince Alpha. I mean, those are nice horses. So I do fancy him. I do think he's a nice horse, and I do see him running a massive race. I withdraw 1.
And he's a very consistent and honest performer as well.
And we've got top club jockey on, one of our top club jockeys, whose strike rate is quite impressive. He's doing very well. So I think, I mean, we can't ignore the fact that he's riding at Donahue.
So number 4, Zoom for the win and for the placings. Number 3, Canary Island. Number 5, Christmas Bay. And number 6, Transonic. We'll now end with the race 8, the last race on the race card, the Jacques Deby Charon Memorial Cup with 10 runners and 1 emergency acceptor. Number 1, Chapter and Verse. Number 2, Good Buddy. Number 3, Captain Persia. Number 4, The Jazz Singer. Number 5, Moroccan Retreat. Number 6, Uncle Frank. Number 7, Overdose. Number 8, Secret Circle. Number 9, San Andreas. Number 10, Wild World. This will be running benchmark 31 over 1400 meters. For the winner, Devon, you like this number 3, Captain Persia?
Yeah, I think myself and the rest of Mauritius likes it as well. I mean, after its last run, massive run, ran a really good race.
An impressive run.
Very impressive first run in Mauritius, but I've always been a big preacher about the second run syndrome in Mauritius,
yeah.
And that's the only reason why I'm a little bit hesitant to make him my best bet on the day. I do think he's good enough to beat this field, but I'm a bit wary about the second run syndrome that I've got this theory that horses don't enjoy their second run in Mauritius. They don't run up to expectations.
Myth, yeah, but he did finish very strongly in the last meters, and I think from 990 to 1400 will suit him very well. This horse
100%.
With Deneuillot on board.
If he's not a victim of that
virus,
the second run, yeah. So I think he'll be a massive runner. I think it will be hard to beat him. He would be an easy winner.
I think same.
I mean, we can watch his last start. It was ultra impressive, and he ran flying. I mean, I think another 100 meters or 200 meters he would have beaten Desert Boy that day. So yeah, he's a very big runner.
That was an eye-catching run.
100%. And Pedro's got his horses in a good space. They're running well. I just think he's the type of horse that he's going to be very, very progressive going forward.
And for the placings, number 9, San Andreas, a brilliant win in circumstances last time. He has improved furthermore and moves in benchmark 31.
Yeah, he's a nice horse, but the draw is a negative part. Obviously, draw 11, or now it will be draw 10, because the reserve runner is Light of My Life. He is the biggest danger for me. I personally feel it's between 3 horses in this race. I think Captain Persia, San Andreas, Moroccan Retreat. I hope they run in that order. In my opinion, it should be that order. San Andreas ran a monster race last time. We watched the rerun of Double Think earlier where he ran second.
Yeah.
That ended up winning it. I think he's a nice horse. And I mean, you can obviously follow the form line on the day. If Double Think wins, this is the type of horse that you can
Definitely,
have a better.
yeah.
So obviously that form line will be franked if he wins. So yeah, I do like him, and I think he was ridden really well last time by Dinesh Sufal, and I think he's a big runner come the last race. It's probably one of the biggest dangers to Captain Persia, for the reason being that it's its second run. If it was its third run, Captain Persia, I make bank of the millennium, 100%.
And number 5, Moroccan Retreat. Amazing win on his first outing. He has kept his great form from Ramana's stable. He never won in benchmark 31, but he'll definitely be there.
Yes, he's definitely a big runner, and I know he's in a really good space. He's working extremely well, and the stable do think he's in a good space as well. So I'm tipping him to run third. I mean, he's got Bernard up. Bernard's stats are phenomenal. He's had 13 rides, 8 wins. I think it's 3 seconds and 2/3. He hasn't run out the money. He's doing extremely well, and I haven't seen stats like that from a jockey in a very long time. So that's an eye opener, and you've got to keep it in the back of your head. And you've also got to think about how Ramana's horses are running. They're running extremely well.
That's a stable in
These
top
stables
form.
I mean, if you run the cat, I'm sure the cat will win. So yeah, I'm very, very confident in these horses, and I think they're running extremely well. So yeah, he's definitely the biggest danger to the favorite as well.
And finally, number 2, Good Buddy from Shirish Narang's stable. He's moving up in distance from 990 meters to 1400 meters and dropping from benchmark 36 to 31. I think he will do well in this division.
Yes, 100%. He's a dark horse of the race. I mean, him and the horse like the Jazz Singer, both dark horses.
Jazz Singer as well, a very honest performance.
100%. But I personally feel like Good Buddy is those type of horses that are running second, third, knocking on the door. They're gonna pop up. They're gonna win soon. I mean, those are the
they're gonna be there.
They're dangerous
we need
horses.
to watch out.
So
yeah.
you can't leave a horse like him out. You can't leave a horse like the Jazz Singer out this race. So yeah, for me, 4th is gonna be quite competitive as well.
So Devon, before ending the show, I'll ask you about your best bet of the day.
Yeah, so my best bet comes up early on in the day. I'm in race 2. I think Double Think, definitely my best bet on the day. He looks very hard to beat, and yeah, going forward, I think he's going to be a nice competitive horse for the season.
And as value bet?
My value bet comes up in race 6, Emerald Band. I think he's definitely one that's will turn it around
in
on
race
Emblem
5.
In race 5, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
race 5. Emerald Band number 2. He's definitely one horse that we all have to watch out for, and I think he's going to be a very, very nice horse going forward for the season.
So I think our viewers have taken note of the best bet of Devon in race 2, horse number 3, Double Think, and as value bet in race 5, horse number 2, Emerald Band. So we have now arrived at the end of our show.
Just before we end the show, your banker and your best bet and your value bet for this meeting?
My banker would be Toro Bravo in race 4. I think this horse, we have to ignore his last run. He didn't run a correct race, and this time with his first outing did him very good, and I think he'll be there. So this is my best bet. And as a value bet, I like let's say the Jazz Singer, very honest performer. So
most probably one
definitely
of also, yeah,
going to be there.
He's definitely a big value as well, and I think he's trading at like almost 15, 16 to 1.
So we can ask for exotic bets.
100%.
And Devon, a big thanks to you for your presence and analysis.
It's only a pleasure, and I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank the media and the staff and our technical team behind the scenes. It's been a pleasure working alongside you guys, and thank you for putting on the show and giving us this opportunity, and to obviously PTP for giving us this opportunity to give the show out to the public. And I hope we make them proud and give the public as many winners as possible.
Definitely. Finally, I would like to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching race previews as usual. And I will not end this show without making a special mention to our duo, the Mustang brothers, the technical and production team. Hoping to see you tomorrow for a nice racing day at PTP Champ de Mos. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.